This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hush, no. You didn't hear nothing.
They
tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our homes.
We won't survive another night.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed! Become!
How am I to sell my wares if they won't let us into the capital?
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
The Empire would have us live in the Deadlands.
Don't go thinking you'll find refuge in the houses outside Port Isolde. The place is a wretched hive of thieves and blackguards.
This is no time to ride.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. We should start with the main gate and see where that gets us. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy! Voice-ridden dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Fuck
off! And the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. But Lazarus... We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Our last crystal just shattered. What are we gonna do now? Drink rainwater from puddles? Eat our rabbit raw?
We numbered 6 when we left our village. 2 died on the road. Another passed just last night. I worry I might be next.
Half the guards at that gate are Rosarian. They've sold their souls for the promise of a warm bed. Not that I can blame them. The Empire's left us nothing.
Open the damn gates! Let us pass!
Why won't you let us in?
You'd leave us to the wolves!
Yeah, maybe they'd shut you up.
When the Blight came to our village, we had no choice but to flee. But it seems the nobles of Port Isolde have no sympathy with our lot, and would rather we starved out here.
Now we know why the refugees didn't come here.
Keep looking then.
This is nothing like... I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned, then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves Shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You're not dead. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
We'll show them that the fire in our hearts is not so easily quenched. Black shields from the one in...
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
We'll show 'em as much mercy as they did our sisters and brothers in Old Hill.
Yes, if I have my way.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my lord. As you wish, my lord. Will that be all? As you wish, my lord. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan.
So wait.
Very good.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
There is but one thing which will grant them, putting an end to the Black Shield.
And so we shall.
We'll keep them from the bridge. Don't you worry.
You better.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Sideways. How was the Black Shields?
Straight home now.
Go along now. We'll find another bridge.
The bastards are lucky I didn't have my axe.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. Perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we've yet, be that as it may, it is still our home. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our heart, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends a sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades in debt?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians, and had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, where he would be of no use to, and so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Zoe. If there is ever anything you need.
I know.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddo in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
I'd say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she? Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others. founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom, but Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
It will be over soon. One way or another.
A sea voyage this time, is it? I can lend you an oilskin if you're looking to keep the salt off your back.
I could have sworn we had a few more.
Typical nobles, cowering behind their walls rather than joining the fight.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Same way they never heard about us, I expect.
A part of me thought Drake's head might be the last crystal we ever cracked. But I'm glad I was wrong. A part of me thought Drake's head might be the last crystal we ever cracked. But I'm glad I was wrong.
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystal sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the Blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's Breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Bloods, making Drostanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth.
My father and my grandfather. Both traded blows with the Ironblood. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Ah, my favorite pupil. Study it well, Clive. Thus ends today's lesson.
A part of me thought Drake's head might be the last crystal we ever cracked.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the
There are
Flame?
new billets being posted every day, but not enough swords to see to them.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself, and if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the umpabouts, but I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit?
Fine.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you wait a bit, then head over when you...
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Business is busy. Still. Words are immortal. Come to claim your just desserts? Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive. Oh, same old. So, oh. And Sid? But he's still with us too. Quick look. Think you can help?
A journey by sea can be just as dangerous as one over land. Make sure you've plenty of pickled greens on hand, or you'll be bleeding from your gums before the Iron Blood have swung a club in earnest.
There's many a man and maid who'd gladly welcome young Cole down there to their beds. Me? I only have eyes for goat. Now, there's a man I could get behind, though I'd rather have him behind me.
That book, do you think you might read it to me?
Young Mid wouldn't want us snooping down there. She calls it her dungeon to scare the children away.
Sid, come to look out over the lake?
Like it's on fire.
Might be Tyre has a balm for that. Or if not, a scalpel.
Sid! I hear you're planning to visit another Mother Crystal. How did I hear you ask? Some habits die hard, I suppose. But you needn't worry. We're all on the same side now. Sid!
So, that's how Hugo Kupka was able to prime that night 5 years ago, despite there being no ether in the Deadlands. Says here that while conjuring magics requires a bearer to draw ether.
The water in the lake is far too foul for drinking. Fortunately, our friends in the backyard have solved the riddle of how to draw the black from it.
Did you even read it? I thought the whole page, just like you said.
I said fill it with words, not scribblings of Moogles.
Little Shirley has grown into a fine woman. She's taught me that none of us are too old to learn.
Could this place be any more confusing? I'm lost half of the time.
I'd take that over being found by the constables any day.
Sing a song of six, Gil, a bag of phoenix down. A pigeon from the rear deck, boiled in Molly's brown.
What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business.
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it. Please, mate.
It's nothing, really. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of... Made my stuff look like every... I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach there, you got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him, assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then.
So, we find a cuirass, give it to Blackthorn, then he works out how to make it and goes back to being his surly old self, right? Simple.
What do you need? I always thought I could teach the best of them a thing or two about... Oh, I've wasted enough. What do you want? Anything else?
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
Deadlands wouldn't be half as bad without all the bloody dust.
So, we find a cuirass, give it to Blackthorn, and he works out how to make it.
Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite
And he ain't been himself since he saw it.
Sorry, sold it all right. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up, but it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the...
You don't know where we might find him.
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking...
I see.
He did tell me something. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was excited? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe?
Thank you, Karen.
At least you admit.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our room.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't
Good idea. Hopefully one of us...
What can I get you, Sid? Oh, keep your mug handy.
Maeve over there's the best thing to happen to Hideaway since, well, ever. she's got a smile like sunshine, and she can pull an ale like no other.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked.
Think I'll...
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What a...
If it's my blessing...
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of worm I came at, but you're made of sterner stuff.
Something tells me you won't be taking no for...
Fantastic!
So...
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly a beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more...
Does the book say anything?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the...
Roses. One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Nothing but unwanted violets will do, if I'm to resurrect this stew. As to what they might be...
Against the gloom of bygone days, do bolts of flame take flight.
Did you come to borrow a book, Sid? Because you can't have this one till we've finished.
My knowledge is yours. I have a few new notes that might interest you. You wish to study the tomes? door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Finish with that log so we can call it a morning.
Depending on who you ask, this lake was either formed when one of the fallen cities plummeted from the sky, or when a giant worm dug a lair for itself. My guilt is on the latter.
When can I go on a special errand for Master Quinton?
It's all but spent. What do we do now?
The crystals we get from the tail are all but worthless.
It's not just the crystals. Bearers are having trouble with their magics as well.
You're quite talented with that rod of yours.
I've caught my share with it, as did my grandfather before me.
Yardam say the floods are closer than they've ever been. Let the ether turn me from teat to toe, then. If you ever need a room, Sid, just say the word. I'll have a bed made up while you eat. And that goes for your friends, too.
Good to see you, Sid, as always. Master Quentin's out back.
If too many barrels is your problem, I reckon I could lend a hand.
And what brings you to the Hanged Man today? Lest you wonder... Yes. If you must know. However... regrettably... Until next time, Sid.
Hey! Are you even listening?
Can you believe we're standing in the hull of a ship that once sailed the skies? A pity it no longer flies. But then if the Fallen hadn't, well, fallen, I suppose we wouldn't have this fine inn.
The crystals we get from the tail are all but worthless.
It's not just the crystals.
You're quite talented with that rod of yours.
I've caught my share with it, as did my grandfather before me.
Fret not, my children, for we are blessed by good Grieger, and that blessing is none other than Master Quentin.
Come on.
Faster!
There's no coin to be had in this miserable land. Even if they wanted to trade with us.
I know. It was hard for us Dalmecs here in Sandbreck before the capital fell, but now we'd be stoned if we even approached Northreach.
This isn't gonna be easy. Rest well. I know I will.
Slavers don't even bother with Northreach now that all the highborn have fled south.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling.
Look at this place. We spent half a day getting here, and for what? Some rotting fish and a few moth-eaten rugs.
The granaries are almost empty. If you're looking to partake in the Meadow's bounty, now might be your last chance.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the bushel.
one ever wants any more is water grape. How am I supposed to make a living?
There's talk that the Glassgate flood has finally spread to the world.
But that'd mean half of Oriflamme's under ether.
Welcome. I'll be here if you need me.
Not much stock coming in from the desert these days.
What do you expect? We're at war with the bloody Dalmex.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoints open to all. You'll find little beyond Northreach, though. When the throne moved south, most of any sense followed.
Did you hear? The gates to Heaven Hall in the Eyrie were breached by someone. Or something. The steward was in town earlier looking for men to come and repair it. But no one was keen to help.
I want to see you again tonight, but the captain's late with our pay.
It's all right. I'll be waiting.
There were great coin sacks swinging from every belt in town. Not anymore. Since the capital moved, they're all shriveled to the size of peas.
What am I going to do without Sweetwater and Oil of Talc? Seeing as business is scarce these days, the Dame decided we should all learn to read. I only wish she had some smaller books. My arms ache something fierce.
What a pleasant surprise. The realm may have changed. I will admit, I fancy yours, meanwhile. Before there was a Northreach. But alas, not everyone left the capital. In a few short moons, the Veil does what it can. Do stay out of trouble.
We should find a caravan south. Look, there's still time.
I sent to the capital for a new bearer weeks ago, but I haven't heard a word since.
It's almost as if they've forgotten us here.
So the gold owed its luster to the great mother's light.
mark the sighing of the meadows as the day yields to night.
What's the point in patrolling? The bands have all followed the coin to Twinside.
You want a spot on the Dominion walls? You'll need to do better than that!
Not many travellers heading north these days. What with the fields barren and the Penitent's Gate closed.
Come on. Run like the wind. No need to ride from here.
Fly, Ambrosia.
That'll do, girl.
If you're looking for a meal and a bed, I suggest you continue up the road to Northridge. You'll find little here but dust and despair, and certainly none of the bounty these parts once offered.
The bastard chokes on a bowl of fucking desert porridge.
I've got nothing to sell you, traveller. We've barely enough for ourselves.
There was a time this place would have been stacked high with sacks of rye and barley and spelt. Then Drake's head vanished, and our livelihoods with it. Now all we have are memories.
Who does he think he is? Making me sweep up like a bloody branded.
When the crystal cracked, so did the preacher. Stopped giving sermons. And then one day he was just gone.
Come on.
Yeah! Ready, girl? Run like the wind.
Back to the stables, girl.
Away, traveler. The Penitent's Gate remains closed by order of the Imperial Throne.
We watch over a corpse that does not yet know it's dead. The least we can do is see it is not defiled any further.
Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Let's go. Oh, there aren't any more of them.
After what the Empire did to Martha's lot, I'd be daft to stay. If it carries on like this, I won't have any bearers left.
I understand. May the blessing go with you. Don't you go causing any trouble now.
She had a man of Grieger mopping their brows. The old thing's unseemly, if you ask me.
Please, teach me how to fight.
All right. If you're still here when my shift is over, I'll spar with you.
Naught but wild beasts this end. All their twisted talons and gruesome maws used to turn my stomach. But that was before I heard about the Black Shields.
I love Martha like a sister. You know I do. But if this is going to end up turning into another Eastpool, we should leave while we can.
Do you know the words to the second verse of The Phoenix Sleeps in the Rosebed? One of my clients can't go to sleep without me singing him old Rosarian lullabies. Only I've quite forgotten how it goes.
But the Empire have dragoons, wyverns.
And we have each other.
We should have stopped them. We should have fought them off.
We didn't have the numbers.
All right, Clive. Most folk round here. So I told him everything. Reckon they'd spare you? This town is ours. A lot's changed since Eastpool. And it ain't just the bearers. Old Hill. Founder's sake. Come back soon, eh?
What did we do to deserve this?
Martha's been going round the empty houses after lights out and tidying up what the old tenants left behind, so that if they ever do come back,
I remember you. You're the one who saved Norris way back when. He's doing well, you know. Sent me a letter. Got a little place of his own down by the border, where no one will ever find him. Touch wood.
After what the Empire did to Martha's lot, I'd be daft.
You know one thing. They'll be getting a proper Rosarian welcome.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Well, can't exactly leave old Martha in the lurch after everything she's done for us.
Perhaps I'd live longer if I bade this town farewell. I've grown rather fond of the old place.
If strong, sharp blades are what our lads need to get the edge over our enemies, then that's what I'll give them.
The abbot used to come to my store all the time, buying herbs and tonics. I thought he had a bit of a habit. But it was all for the bearers, wasn't it?
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but...
Unwanted violets. If you have them.
Why, I haven't heard. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer. And even if they were...
Do the scorpion...
I dare say they do.
Thank you.
You'll find your scorpions in the swamps below the rest. Just take the tails, mind.
go causing any trouble now.
Let's go.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
Finished.
I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad. Or any worse, at least.
Did you find our mystery ingredient?
I did indeed.
Marvellous! Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous.
You wouldn't be wrong.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bolt. Odin's teeth. What, the salt on the senses? It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but never have I tasted anything. I must share this gift. I won't rest until I steam a single mouthful, and Molly...
Maeve over there's the best thing to happen to the hideaway since, well, ever. she's got a smile like sunshine, and she can pull an ale like no other.
Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these guardians of...